See. I think we're live. I think we're live. What's going on, y'all? It's FOMO Hard, another edition of FomoNation. And tonight, we're going to continue on with our interview series. I like to call it a series. I love doing these things, actually. And so what we're planning on doing tonight is talking to Sonny from Gandhiji. He is probably the hottest Dapps developer at the moment right now. Man, yeah, I want to see you blush, man. What's going on, Sonny? How are things?
So blessed to see all the support that's coming in for the project, to all the YouTubers, everybody supporting. You know, that's what does it for me, bro. That's what I really do this for. I get messages from people all the time, you know, saying how they're doing well in this project, and you know, that means more to me than people realize. I think that's the whole buzz for it for me is that.
What happened? I lost your audio.
Oh, did you lose me there?
Sorry, yep, for a second we lost your audio. Say what you were saying.
I was just saying that thanks to everybody who's supporting the project, all the YouTubers out there. When I see that kind of response and other people talking about the project from the standpoint and the vision that I really created it, that's what really means a lot to me. Do you know what I mean? It's that's what I do it for. It's that's what I made it for in the first place, was for that particular reason.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, like, okay, so I started hanging out on Drunk on Crypto. Saint invited me in one day. About a month now, maybe a little over a month. And I know you were talking about Gandhiji, and I was like, oh, it's another, you know, it's on ETH. It's just another one of these contracts. And yeah. I had my fill at that time. And now it's on ETH, so it makes it even like a transition now. So that
was amazing, FOMO, as well. Like I was talking to you about that, people coming who've seen things on Tron, entered the space, you know, directly into Tron, for them to be able to look back from their point of view, look back at ETH and go, okay, well, let's have a look at that as well. That's a great thing as well, I think.
Yeah, and well, that was the thing. Like I was burnt out, and so I really didn't think there was. You know, I always felt like these type of contracts, smart contracts, actually they'll play a role in the future of finances. So when I found your stream and you were talking about it, I didn't really give it too much look, but then I started noticing it was getting some attention. It was time to look. And I got to say, I love the community. I like hanging out, like, you know what I'm saying? And we can talk to you just like this. You just come on. And the community's reached out to me as well, which is pretty cool. So how long you been doing this? Like, how long have you been a developer? And were you doing Solidity, right? Is that what the language is? Yeah,
definitely. I'd say 2.5 years. 2.5 years since I first started looking into Solidity.
Okay.
And then for the past 18, since I started this project, the Gandhiji project, I started this project and kind of understood for myself that this was it for me. This was, you know, this would be something that I've created, and it's going to be, because I understood the technology, understood from my point of view that this would last forever. You know, we've spoken before about how I view Ethereum as a place where you can write something down in an immutable way and see it there. And basically have the vision of it being there for, you know, beyond our years in one sense, to not maybe 50, maybe 500, maybe 5,000 years. Who knows how long, you know, this technology will last. It's one of those, but something that is going to last longer than ourselves. So something basically that's going to be written on the blockchain will be there forever. I saw that in the first place. So I thought, whatever we're going to write there, you better think carefully about what it is and what you want to put there. Now that I've done it, I'm 100% kind of committed to this particular smart contract. You know, I've understood from the start that this smart contract, the way it's designed and the way it works, the mathematics, it's designed to last. You know, and it's designed to reward people. It's part and parcel of why that's one aspect of why you know, I chose Ethereum, and at the time, I still believe, you know, we've made a great decision with that.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of articles about, and then, you know, talking to y'all that Ethereum is, you know, they're gonna, you know, make it cheaper, gonna make it faster. So when that happens, I mean, Ethereum was here first, and you know, so they're dug in. You know, I didn't want to really get into the whole Tron, you know, Ethereum conversation, because I wanted, you know, specifically to talk about your Dapps, because I mean,
that's great. That's
it is
fine,
the star, you know. One thing I was going to ask or tell you I don't know if you saw my video today, but I actually was talking to two no coiners today, and they just can't get their head around it. And the first thing they say is, oh, it's a pyramid. What do you say to that? Like, how I know better because I understand, the mechanisms behind it. But I mean, what do you say to people that, say that to you?
Ultimately, it comes down to knowledge, like you've just said. So I try and break it down in a way, and I try to give examples to people to open their minds to different thought processes in that sense, to understand from anybody's point or principle the arguments that they would give to call Gandhiji a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme. If they were to do that to, let's just take the biggest crypto, Bitcoin, those same arguments would be valid for Bitcoin, but the general kind of understanding or consensus is not that Bitcoin is a pyramid or a Ponzi scheme. Its value lies in much more than just that aspect of the mathematics, and I believe it's exactly the same for Gandhiji.
Yeah, I've been exposed to these, and it's not an ROI contract. It's the beauty in it is if you don't pull out, if you have investment money. And you can stick it in here for, like you said, this thing could go on for 5,000 years. We really don't know. And there's going to be periods of up and down. But I think with, a lot of the knowledge that's getting out and a lot of publicity on this, eventually it'll top and it'll come back down. But the beauty in it is that you're getting paid on the way down, right? Can you explain exactly how that works? Because I'm a little confused myself.
Yeah, no problem. So the whole system is managed by the smart contract, first of all. I want to explain, because the things I'm about to say, if any of these things were in the control of a human being, we would be at risk ultimately of that human being doing a dodgy one or running off with the money or something.
Right.
So, firstly, that's why every aspect of what I'll explain now is covered by the smart contract, and that gives us the added security, basically. So, for example, let's take first of all the supply of tokens. The supply of tokens is managed by the smart contract and is based on how much Ethereum and how many tokens the smart contract has generated. This goes up and down based on when people buy and sell tokens from the smart contract. When that happens, at that same point, when people are buying or selling tokens from the smart contract, there is a 10% fee that's taken and spread out to each. The way I'm going to explain this is it's spread out to each individual IND token, no matter where it is, no matter whose wallet that token it is in. The contract will work out per IND token in existence at the moment, the exact mathematics and the exact dividend share based on the amount of tokens that are existing in the platform at the time.
So it's proportional to the amount of the tokens.
That's right.
When people sell, what happens to those tokens? They're gone, right?
The contract burns those. Yeah. So you'll see when people sell, the total IND tokens that are listed on the website, the amount will go up and down. Like for example, right now we're at 464,463 IND tokens in existence. If somebody were to sell 2 IND tokens, that figure there would go down by those 2 IND tokens.
So on the price, how does the price actually work when you buy it? I know it goes up and it goes down if you sell. How much is it each coin, and how much is it per coin?
Again, the smart contract always works everything out based on each token. It doesn't matter whether somebody's buying 100 tokens, 1,000 tokens, or 5 tokens, because the price of each token rises incrementally based on the amount of tokens that are being purchased. So as you buy tokens, the price will go up by 0.000000001 of an Ethereum, and as you sell them, it'll go down by the same amount. So that's ultimately a perfect mathematical supply and demand based pricing model or pricing system within the smart contract.
So if I sell, say, 2,000 tokens at one time, I'm locked into the price that I'm selling at, right? What's on screen?
Of course, the website takes into account all of the mathematics of the smart contract and then displays the results.
Okay.
But the first token, if you had 2,000 tokens and you were selling, if you do a sell order for 2,000 tokens, the price of the first token that you sell will be more than the price of the last token you sell by the amount of tokens. So just off the top of my head, that would be 0.000000200 because of the 2,000 tokens. So it would drop that much.
Okay.
The website accounts that and then displays the estimated value at the bottom.
Okay, so it does drop per token, so it won't drop just that 0.00001. It'll go and do that 2,000 times, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And so the 10%, that whole 10% gets redistributed back to the token holders?
The whole 10%, yes.
How do you make money? I got to ask. Like, you're just in it?
I was fortunate enough to be the first purchaser of the token. So
right.
I've been about 1.87 ETH at the beginning of the contract. And
okay.
I got a good amount of tokens. I got over 20,000 tokens for that ETH at the time.
Hell yeah, and you deserve it. I mean, you've had this running for 18 months. And that, honestly, Sonny, I like that you put your face on here. I love that because it makes me feel a lot more comfortable, you know what I'm saying, being in your contract that you designed.
I didn't to start with when I first launched the contract because the idea of not showing somebody's face in these particular smart contracts ultimately started because of the trustless aspect of the contract. So because the smart contract was trustless, ultimately you don't need to really trust me. If you know what you're doing or you know somebody who knows what they're doing, they can go in and check all of the code, check every single function and see that this works exactly as it says on the tin. So that was the trustless aspect. But then obviously in India, it did come to the point where I felt it would be beneficial to people out there to see or have a face or a name behind it exactly. And I knew at that point that, look, I've got my name on it, I've got my stamp on it, this is something I'm going to be with. If this is going to last the length of the Ethereum blockchain, why would I not back it for the longest period of time?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting to me is, like I was saying earlier, these are like new financial instruments. And somebody, I forget who, I think it was Angry Crypto Guy, he said, he was talking about how, people have 401ks basically on these. And it is kind of brilliant because the more people participate, the more everyone, makes money. In the wild like this, that's a closed environment where you're going to have employees coming in and out of that thing. In the wild like this one, there's going to be times where it just runs out of gas, right? And you're going to have down periods.
There has been over the past 18 months, but I'd say with that, it's a great time as well. I've learned with this contract, people will tell you in the community to enjoy the ups and the downs. And in fact, it's even taught me to enjoy the ups and downs in cryptocurrency cycles as well, and not let the market fix your mood, as it were. So If it's a red day in the market, I bet there's a lot of people out there that are maybe not having such a good day as when it's a green day in the market. For me, this is something that I think ultimately we can move away from, especially in this contract, because like you say, we do earn on the way down. The potential for accumulation on the way down and when the price is low is obviously a lot better than as the price is rising. So you can see that if you're thinking of long-term holding, then yeah, definitely the ups and the downs in this contract, they don't bother you because you're always increasing your supply of IND tokens if you are, obviously thinking that long term.
How's the audio, Saint? It says Sonny's is in and out. I'm watching it on the meter.
I've just tried to get a little bit closer to the mic if that helps.
I'm monitoring it on the meter here too. So all right. So we understand how the tokens work when you sell them. We understand the fee. You say there's no dev fee built into this thing, right? That was one thing that surprised me too, because most of the white papers that I read on Tron, there was a dev fee built in. You don't have that, right?
No, not at all. No.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean,
that comes down to a decentralized aspect. If you really want to say that your project is decentralized, how can there be a dev fee in that aspect of it? It doesn't make sense. For me, being decentralized is it being equal opportunity for everybody. That is the whole point of decentralization in that sense.
Yeah, and you're like the poster child for this stuff right now, man. You really live, breathe, sleep, eat. You're all about the decentralized aspect of this, and I know this.
I love it too. Maybe too much sometimes, but I do love it. That's what I always look for, and it's that's the part of the technology that really floats my boat, you could say. It's when you look at Bitcoin and you really think, how did it survive all of this time? And the one key factor I put that to is the decentralized nature of it. And obviously now Ethereum moving on in the same way, but offering so much more utility, than Bitcoin in that sense. It's an easy choice from my logic in that sense.
So you're all in on Ethereum.
I am, yeah.
So basically, like, not to get off topic too much here, but it is important because what I'm seeing is side chains popping up, like Loom, and they're trying to bring guys like you in there to put your DApp on there for what, cheaper gas and basically what's, yeah. But that's not pure. That's and I can tell in you're looking for something pure. When I say pure, I mean changes to, the chain itself to make it smarter, right? I mean,
that's exactly it. The security aspect in the sense of what will happen tomorrow. Will the developers that are working on the project take the full due care and attention, take the full, responsibility, and understand really, and obviously I believe Ethereum does understand that, the weight of opportunity and responsibility that's on its shoulders. A lot of the devs do.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to touch on Tron, but that's the thing that scares me a little bit when it came to Tron, is the whole Justin Sun jump how high and
Hey, you know how people act when people are making money. They will jump.
I'm not trying to bash any other. Again, I've told people before. I'm not about. I can tell you what I like and what I do, why I do it. And other people can tell you the same for their reasons for what they do. I'm not about, trying to discredit or disregard what anybody else is doing, but I'm happy to talk about what I'm doing and what I believe in and, how we're moving forward with that.
But it all, at the end of the day, it all boils down to everyone's trying to move in the same direction, basically. It's, how you go about it and what are you willing to sacrifice, as far as, maybe your standards. I was going to say morals, but we won't go there. Because man,
I'm a fan of Mahatma Gandhi's quotes, so I often look to the quotes for guidance, and it's surprising a lot of the time how you can find a quote to fit with aspects of cryptocurrency. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just the way I put it.
So you're saying Gandhi was sitting back? Is he really Satoshi?
I don't know about Satoshi, but when I made this smart contract on the night when I wrote this or launched this smart contract, while I was preparing the code and going through everything, all of these things came to mind, FOMO, about the dev fee and about how much I should put into the contract my first self. These were all considerations, and I made the choices. I tell you, I've told this to a few, but I don't tell it to too many people, but it felt like he was there sitting on my shoulder at that point. And when I was looking at the ambassadors in the code, I was like, he wouldn't have approved of that in that sense. That bit was a little bit, and then the administrator, it's like, oh, I can't be in control of Gandhiji. He doesn't, Gandhiji ultimately is that powerful. Who can be in control of it? Nobody should. It's that, it was that entity in the world that I was trying to create.
See, now here's the thing that I don't understand. Like, I understand how, you basically get locked out of the contract when it's done, but what happens if a change needs to be made, or, how does that happen?
It doesn't. It can't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't need to be changed.
No, I'm not saying Gandhiji. I mean in general. Okay. You have to add on another contract or something, right?
Okay, they're in a general smart contract. You can allow changes to happen based on permissions. So you can give users permissions, and you can give administrators separate permissions.
Right.
In the Gandhiji smart contract, all of the active functions are available to everybody. The administrator functions, there's only one address in the world that can call that administrator function, and that address technically can be proved to not exist. So there are no addresses that can control the Gandhiji smart contract. That's why I don't get any special privilege. I am just like I can only run the same functions as anybody else in the smart contract.
So if you had